Okay, we'll start in a couple of minutes. Okay. In our previous class, we have discussed about the different animal husbandry that included the cattle farming, poultry, fish, beekeeping, and so on. Okay. Sericulture, draught animals, all of this we saw. So, one by one, we were looking at cattle, for example. So, which is for either milk yielding purposes, that is the for
Sir,
yeah,
what will be the syllabus for this term?
that will be intimated. I think we are completing the this one, right? The chapter is going to complete anyway,
Yes, sir.
so the intimation will come.
Yes, sir.
So there are the different based upon the requirement. So the milk yielding animals are there. They are known as the milch animals. And here we are talking about the breeds of cow. Okay, for example, in India, we discussed all these things yesterday. So today we'll be looking at the what are the breeds of buffalo. Okay, because compared to cow, farmers prefer to keep the buffalo these days because the quality of the milk
Sir, which
that
page
is
number?
sorry.
Sir, which part, miss? I was not present in the last class because I was like, in this area network connection was very bad.
Okay,
So,
page
which
number
page number?
106. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay,
so
sir.
the breeds of buffaloes. Okay, so because the milk that is coming from the buffaloes is rich in fats. Okay, so therefore the farmers are able to get a better price for the milk. So what are the different other benefits? The average lifespan is almost 20 years, and some of the breeds of buffalo that are common in India are the Murrah. So generally, the question may be something like, a few breeds of animals may be given, and you will be asked to identify. Okay, it is a breed of cow or of that of a buffalo or some other animal. Like that kind of option can be given. So these are the most common breeds of buffalo: Murrah, Mehsana, and Surti. Okay. Now, when the cattle are fed, okay, traditionally, the farmers used to feed with the green grass or leave them in the open to forage for themselves. But today, with the reduction in the grazing land, forests, so it is becoming very difficult, and these animals need to be kept in a confined space and they need to be provided the feed. So, the cattle feed has two components. One is the roughage. Okay, which is the fiber component. Okay, and this includes the fodder. So after the rice or wheat, whatever cultivation is there, and we cut that crop, right, and whatever the whole plant is there, so that can be cut down into further smaller pieces. Okay, to get the fodder, they can be the hay or the straw. All of these are coming from the cereal crops like wheat, rice, maize. Okay, they are all rich in the fiber. Okay, the amount of the carbohydrate that you are seeing here, they will be mainly what, cellulosic. Okay, they are not starch or anything else, right? And cellulose, whether humans are able to digest the cellulose,
No, sir.
we cannot
No,
digest,
sir.
right? The animals can digest, these cattle, they can digest it. Okay, and for them it is important also. If we just give them like roti and all these bakery products for food, because they are giving instant energy and lot of energy, instead of giving them this fodder hay and a straw, then they may not be able to survive also. Okay, because their digestive system is made in such a way that they require a huge amount of fiber or roughage. Okay, so they will digest this cellulosic material, but this cellulosic material is not a very rich source of energy, right? It is a very basic source of energy. So therefore we need to supplement it with another thing that is known as the concentrates. Okay, so what are these concentrates? These concentrates are nothing but, for example, oil cakes are there. Okay, oil cakes. Oil cakes means, for example, mustard or sunflower or any such, we are obtaining the oil from those seeds. Okay, and after the oil is extracted, whatever that solid material remains, okay, those are known as the oil cakes. These oil cakes are having still lot of oil is present in them, and also they are rich in the proteins and carbohydrates, other materials they are there. So these can be supplemented with the regular fodder or roughage. Okay, molasses can also be given. Okay, molasses is after the sugarcane juice. From that we are making the jaggery. So there is a certain part of that one which is liquid, which is not like generally people are not buying for consumption. So these molasses can be given to the animals. That's an excellent high energy source. Okay, grains, wheat, rice, maize, these grains can also be given. So generally they are broken down into small, not powder, but just like dalia, they make it in the small, and then they boil it, and that can be provided as a feed. So these concentrates, they supplement that energy, they give that extra boost of energy so that the milk production can be increased, more fats can be obtained in the milk. Okay, so in the cattle feed there are the two components, that is the roughage and concentrates. If you only give concentrates, don't give roughage, then that is also not acceptable. The animal will not be able to survive. So in one day, roughly, a cow would eat anywhere between 15 to 20 kgs of this fiber. Okay, that is grass and all, and 4 to 5 kgs of the concentrates, and 30 to 35 liters of water. Okay, so therefore, to keep an animal, that is a cattle, requires a very good source of water. Okay, good source of water is extremely important. Animal not only require this for drinking purpose, but also for its maintenance also the water is required. Okay, so therefore if you look at it closely, when we try to derive our nutrition from animal source, okay, that is a very expensive process. The amount of food, the amount of energy and water that goes into feeding the cattle, okay, that can be sufficient to feed more number of people also. Okay, so of course there are the different aspects. Now this is what we saw was the cattle feed. Any doubts you have, we'll move on to the next one.
No, sir.
Okay, drought animals. Okay, as we discussed earlier, drought animals means that they are able to perform the heavy work. Okay, so the most common one is the donkey, horse, mule, elephant, horse. Okay, all of these are known as the draught animals. Okay, so they will be they have been using traditionally for the various agricultural activities like tilling of the land. Okay, or earlier the water, for that one, that water wheel used to be there. Okay, so something like this, there is a source of water, and this wheel, it will be having some cups or this kind of a structure. Okay, so this wheel, if it is rotated, then what will happen, it will take the water and it will put on this side. So from here it can be collected and sent into the fields. Okay, so the water wheel can be rotated for, that is for irrigation purposes. Okay, for various other purposes, animals have been for performing work. Next, we discussed earlier about the green revolution. The another important revolution is known as the white revolution. Okay, so from the,
Excuse me,
yeah,
sir. So you told the tilling of land. What is the tilling of land?
tilling of land means whatever that land is there, na. So suppose
Yes.
so that has to be turned upside down, no? Like you have to make it loose. The soil needs to be made loose. So what you will do is the farmer will put one plow. Okay, or you can say it's also known as plowing of land, also common language. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
so the cow or buffalo will be there, or using a tractor you can plow. Okay, so basically what happens, the soil will become loose, no? So because the soil becomes loose, when we put these seeds here, okay, for the germination of seeds, it requires water, but it also requires air. Okay, so if these seeds are going a bit deep, okay, or if they are remaining only on the top soil, then the birds will come and eat and they will fly away. Okay, so what has to be done, that seeds are put, and then they are tilled or plowed. Then what happens, the seeds will have, they will be in what you say loose soil. So in this way, that is a good chance to germinate. Okay, and produce the plant. So earlier we talked about the green revolution. So that was about the plants, the crops. Okay, and here the white revolution, it is about the milk. Okay, so now in the world, India is almost the world's largest producer of milk. Okay, but earlier the situation was not like that, and India has made a lot of sustained efforts to be able to produce so much milk. So what is known as the Operation Flood, okay, was started in 1970, and a organization known as the National Dairy Development Board, National Dairy Development Board. Okay, this was started by Dr. Kurian. Okay, what we see in the advertisements, Amul advertisements, So Kurian. Okay, he was the managing director, CEO of the company, Dr. Vargshi Kurian. So he started this National Dairy Development Board. And what the basic idea here was that India was producing, we had a lot of people who were already having cattle. Okay, were producing milk, but there was a gap between the villages, okay, and the cities. Okay, whereas the cities are having lots of milk, but the farmers are not getting the sufficient money for that milk, and the cities are not able to get the sufficient milk. So okay, there was a lot of mismatch between the supply and demand. So a model was made in which the people who, the farmers, they are able to get the good price for their milk, as well as the money of the cost of the milk was kept at within the limit, and people are able to get the good quality milk. Okay, this was under the white revolution, and over the 30 years or more, so we have been able to double the production of milk, and India is now the largest producer of the milk. Okay, so the,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah,
What you have written there, village and
village and cities. Okay,
okay, sir.
okay. So next,
So what are oil cakes?
sorry,
So what are oil cakes?
oil cake. So oil cake is nothing but, for example, mustard is there, na? Okay, so we extract the mustard oil from the mustard seed. Okay, so what happens is, when we are extracting the oil, the liquid part is coming out, and whatever that remaining, that solid material is there. Okay, it is compressed, basically what happens, it is all grains, like mustard grains are, like these mustard grains are passed through a press. Okay, there are different types of press: cold press, okay, hot press. So what we are telling, kachi ghani and all these things, what we are seeing the labels of mustard, okay, these are all press. So basically what happens is, it is passed through this machine, and the machine, what it will do, it will crush these seeds. Okay, and under that pressure, what will happen, the oil will come outside, the oil can be collected. So there will be two fractions, in which in one there will be the oil, and other one, it is a solid material will be there. Okay, this solid material is known as the oil cake. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
next one, meat providing livestock. Okay, so besides the milk, and beside getting work done through the draught animals, one of the important industry is also the meat industry. Okay, so here what happens is, different animals are slaughtered for the purpose of meat. This includes the poultry, fish, goat, sheep, okay, and many more. Okay, so but under this one, the poultry, we have the chicken. Okay, so we will be seeing one by one about the poultry and all. Okay, but here if you see, the under the meat producing livestock, so basically these are the most common, and the meat is having a high amount of protein, and other vitamins and minerals are there. Okay, but one important point, like I pointed out earlier, is that the amount of feed that goes into growing this animal, feeding this animal, okay, that would be sufficient to feed directly many people. Okay, so this is a what you can tell, highly intensive industry, in which a lot of input need to be given to grow the animals. Okay, so we are basically, this is not like they are growing in the open, right? They are grown in a farming practice. It's like a farming practice. Now, for example, we will see first with goat. Okay, goat is like you can tell, a poor man's cow in India. So the meat gives a very good return. Okay, goat meat, and therefore it supplements the income of the very poor families. Okay, so here this is coming under the category of red meat. Okay, so basically the meat that is coming from the poultry and fish, okay, they are known as the white meat. Okay, and goat, sheep, these are all coming under the red meat. So basically what happens is that the goat meat, it is rich in the cholesterol. Okay, it's rich in cholesterol. So generally, if you take for example ghee is also rich in cholesterol. Okay, the goat meat is also rich in cholesterol, and generally the doctors and all say that you should consume the less of cholesterol. Okay, so anything is having the positive and negative effects, but we should important is it should be taken in moderation. Okay, it should be taken in moderation. It is still okay. We have time, right? 10 minutes more. Okay, so let's start. Some important breeds of the goat that are common in India is the Jamunpari, Kashmiri, Pashmina, Barbary, and Beetle. Okay, this Jamunpari, for example, Jamun Pari. This Jamun Pari is white in color, totally white in color. Okay, it also gives a decent amount of milk. Also, its meat is considered good. And then there is a Pashmina. Okay, Pashmina is found mainly in the Kashmir. Okay, it's also having good quality wool. Also, Barbari. Barbari is kind of a spotted goat. Okay, beetle. Okay, beetle. So these are all different breeds of goat that are common in India. Okay, sheep. In addition to getting the meat, we also get the wool. Okay, so these are also red meat. Okay, having high levels of the saturated fats. And some of the examples of this one are Gaddi, Marwari, Nellore, Decani. Okay, some of these are some names. So basically, what you need to do is that you need to little bit memorize some of these names that are given in your textbook. Okay, goat, sheep, and for buffalo and cow. What are the common breeds that are there in India? Okay, so next, poultry. There are the two types of chicken are there. Okay, one is for the egg laying and one is for the meat purpose. Okay, two types, these are both very different. The egg laying poultry chicken are known as layers, and the one for meat are known as broiler. Okay, they're different. Okay, so the broilers, they are not so good at laying eggs. Okay, whereas the egg laying ones, their meat is not considered that good. Okay, so here the difference is that the egg laying layers, they start laying the egg within the 20 weeks, and these boilers, they are ready for the market in about 2 months. They are ready. But for example, if you take it the indigenous variety of the hen, it may take about 4 months to 6 months, like that. Okay, so some of the indigenous and popular breeds of the poultry, okay, they are the Asil, Busra, Brahma, and exotic breeds are White Leghorn, Plymouth, and Black Minorca. Okay, these are some names. Okay, they may appear a bit strange, but we need to memorize that. Next, fish. So, what is fish farming known as? We discussed in our previous class.
Pisciculture.
Pisciculture, yes. Okay, pisciculture. So in pisciculture, what we are doing, we are doing a commercial, commercially we are growing the fishes. So fishes are their meat is also having a certain characteristic. Okay, though they are the high quality protein, they are also easily digestible, and they have a certain vitamin which is known as the omega 3 fatty acid. Okay, omega 3 fatty acid, this is considered to be very good for the brain. Okay, there is also the fish liver oil that is rich in vitamin A and vitamin D. Okay, fish liver oil. So the fish that we get in India, okay, there can be two types of sources. One is the freshwater fish and one is the what we say the marine. Okay, or the oceans and all. So freshwater fish, the most popular are the katla, rohu, hilsa, singara, magur, mrigal. There are the different varieties. Okay, under marine there are the bombay duck, eel. Eel is longish kind of okay fish. eel, pomfret, salmon, sardines, okay, bangaras. So there are different types. So all of these, what we are seeing here, one is the fishermen will go to the oceans and they will catch the fish, okay. He will be able to get different varieties of fish. But here what we are talking about farming, okay. So here what is being done is proper breeding of the fishes are done. So there will be hatcheries. In the hatcheries, the eggs from the fish, okay, they will be collected, they will be spawned, and they are known as the fingerlets, okay, the small finger, the small fishes are known as fingerlings. These fingerlings, they are fed and they are grown in this pisciculture, okay, for commercial purposes. So this is in fish culture, okay. Next, sericulture. Okay. Sericulture means that is the culture of
Silkworm.
silk.
Worms.
Okay, silkworm. So the silkworm, uh, what happens is it feeds on the very specific type of leaves. Okay. For example, they may like to eat the mulberry leaves. Okay. Okay. For example, in Bhagalpur also, this we have the Tasar silk. Okay. So this Tasar silk, the larvae will be there. So these larvae, these are like the caterpillar. What they will do, they will be eating these mulberry leaves. And when they are metamorphosing, they are changing from one state to another. Okay. Then what happens? This larvae, they will cover their body with the saliva, which becomes the silk. Okay. And these silk, these silkworms, okay, they are put in the boiling water, okay, so that the pupa that is there inside, it will die, and the outside that silk can be extracted, and that can be used for a preparation of the different fabrics or whatever other purposes also. Okay. The silk is a extremely strong substance, okay. So when we say silk, we say it's very soft, okay, but at the same time it is very tough material. So in fact there are certain wound dressings, you know. For example, if there is a very deep cut, long cut in the leg or hand, something, you know, and then the doctor needs to stitch that opening, okay, you need to stitch that opening. So they use medical grade fibers are there, okay, but here silk is also used these days, okay. So in this one the examples are mulberry, eri silk, tasar, muga, okay. So we will look into the other aspects, okay, in our next class. If you have any doubts, you may ask, and in the meanwhile I will take the attendance. Okay then, thank you. I will see you all in next class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.